Here we go again. Remember my profane friends. Freemasonry is everywhere. Remember the signs I'm teaching you. You know what I mean? Straight up to the square and compass. Remember, it's the Masonic sign. Now that people behind me here, this is Swedish Parliament, yeah? These are the people in Sweden doing the Eye of Horus. Now, you can do the Eye of Horus like this as well, yeah? And Freemason call this Dom Wiz, yeah? Which stands for wisdom, okay? But I'll go more about that a bit later. And then I made it up and put a little finger pinky on there like that for shush. Shh. And that denotes that you will be quiet as we watch you. Because that's what Freemasons do. That's all they do is shh, watch the profane outside the temple. And that's you. Yeah? So remember, the Masons are always watching everything you do. Anyway, let's move on. Let's try and get about an hour into this. Do you know what I mean? Here we go with a, do you know what I mean? Anyway, I was going to be jumpy a bit from here to there just to start with, and then I'm going to show you everything. Like, you know, we're going to get into the some of these Masonic armies. I'm going to show you a lot of the Order of the Eastern Star, how deep they're into it. Do you know what I mean? I'll give you a bit of their ritual. I think is Australia. Look, ooh, that's the female Freemasons. Yeah, I'm going to get into it all. Scotland, I mean, look at that. That's just lodges. Look, look at all them lodges. But I'll show you how big this army is. This Masonic army. Oh, I don't know what that is. What's that? Masonic ritual in the decline. Don't know what that means. Let's see if it's working. There's no point talking if it ain't going to go. Then I'm going to show you. They don't want you to see this book. This is the District Deputy's Grand Master's Handbook. Not for the profane, which is you. So I'm going to get into that as well. But anyway, let's get back to the beginning, which is here. So it's all Masonic, see, and what they want you to believe, right, is that Freemasonry is in the decline, yeah? That's what they want you to believe, yeah? Because then there's nothing to worry about. Whereas if it was up, going upwards, there's something to worry about. So they always make out like it's old dust balls and you know, Freemasonry's on the incline. We ain't got the members. Well, I'm going to show you. They got the members. They got everything. Let me show you. Anyway, let's carry on. First of all, I'm going to jump about a bit, like I said, just so you get the you know, some of the stuff that you might, you know, as a reference that's important. This guy here, brilliant. Look him up. Yeah, his name's John Harris. He's dead now. Apparently he committed suicide, but I don't think he did. But that's another conspiracy, and you know, and but he was a TI, gang stalked by Freemasonry, so I know what he went through there. You know what I mean? But that's another story on me. We'll get into that a bit later. Yeah, he's in the forum, and here he is here. And the best statement he ever made in this video, yeah, he's on. I'll show you him on YouTube as well. But he's in Freemasonry within the UK, number 8. Okay, if you want to watch his video on my forum. If not, just head over to YouTube and just type in John Harris, It's an Illusion. And the most important thing he says in that, obviously he's really, you know, what he's talking about is Freemasonry. Everything he relates to, you know, the law, the government, blah blah blah, just relates to, you know, Freemasonry. Okay, and if you keep that and bear that in mind, you'll know exactly what's going on, not just within this country, within every country. But the most important statement he made there is the most dominant force, yeah, of any like Norfolk state or county, whatever you want to call it, the most dominant force is always in control. Okay, so if the Freemasons are the most dominant, you know, the most dominant within government, your MPs, your parliament, you know, in your town halls, which I'm going to show you in a minute, if they're the most dominant, then you ask yourselves, who's running you? Who's controlling you? Do you know what I mean? Because they're running, controlling the whole country, and no one's given me. I mean, I didn't give them permission to. I didn't consent for them to control me. I didn't give them anything. Do you know what I mean? But they're running it. They're controlling the town halls. Now I'm going to just go back to it, like through these little pages here, just before I get to the folders and the, you know, again, look, remember, kids are being, you know, coerced into dealing drugs and God knows what. That's what people are. That's what they're after. Do you know what I mean? Because if there's chaos, yeah, it gives the police something to do. And like I said, if you can program it into a youngster at a very early age, yeah, that goes on and repeat itself over and over and over again. Yeah, I mean, I've gone into some of this in the back in my other videos. Do you know what I mean? But this is what drug dealers do. Do you know what I mean? Look, 23-month-old baby drug death by methadone. 1-year-old son died. Do you know what I mean? Heroin dealing granny draped a flag over a coffin of the dead customer and then just carried on selling drugs. No one cares. Why aren't you fighting for these kids? Do you know what I mean? Hero dad kills drug dealer. Well done, my son. Kid and children on crystal meth. Do you know what I mean? That's all in here. Yeah, so do not support your gang stalking, drug dealing, paedophile Freemasons that are dealing drugs. Anyway, that's another story, and we'll sort that one out a bit later. Right, then we've got the gang stalkers here. Look, every story, yeah, of people getting gang stalked, whistleblowers, yeah, just like myself, yeah, get gang stalked by Freemasonry. Some people don't, these all in my forum shout it out, and they, you know, and they mention the only person who don't is Brian Harvey, yeah, and I'm going to do a little segment on him, because he doesn't mention Freemasons, but if you connect up the things that he says, like the red rooms, blah blah blah, right? So who controls nightclubs and the drugs? The doorman, yeah? And you're telling me the doorman on that nightclub didn't know about the red rooms? Now, if we go into doorman and who controls the doormans, blah blah blah, you'll find out and have your answers of who controlled the red rooms. Do you know what I mean? But I ain't going to go into that. I'll go into that a bit later. But yeah, gang stalking, again, that's all down to Freemasonry. Do you know what I mean? So if you're a TI, then, you know, you need to start working towards, let's put it this way, you need to be pulling the screw out of these Freemasons compasses, and if you ain't working towards that, you're not even fighting the real war. Again, go into the satanic ritual abuse, yeah, on my forum, yeah, that's in Freemasonry Worldwide, and there's plenty of stories all the way through, written stories, videos, and all behind it is your government. Do you know what I mean? All Freemasons again. Do you know what I mean? And again, if you connect that to the red rooms, boom, boom, boom. Again, Gordon Brown, look, practicing paedophile. All these are hidden. I can't even share these out. Do you know what I mean? So go above top secret, look, the addresses at the top there, and then you'll be able to read it all yourself. I'm not going to go through it all. You know, I'm just trying to rush through these, just little, you know, just little things that people need to pick up on, because you can't share this stuff. It's just crazy. Do you know what I mean? The links are dead, or I'm getting shadow banned. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, how Gordon Brown, here he is, look, was duped into aiding the founder of the vile pedo group, which was Pi. Yeah, you reckon he was duped? No, he weren't duped. He knew about it. They know exactly what they're doing, because before anyone in politics makes a move or do anything, he has a group of people around him, where they'll guide him. Oh, you can't do that, and they investigate everything because they don't want a scandal. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, and he's not duped into anything. Do you know what I mean? He was surrounded by people telling him what to do, blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? But that's there again. That's in a just again, if you want to read that story, oh, I can't, this bloody mouse, I've got to get it sorted. But yeah, just type that in, and then obviously it's on the Daily Mail, but that'll infiltrate a gay rights rally, blah blah. If you type that in, that'll come in. Right, moving on. Sex collectors extracts from Tony Belair, see what I mean? Gordon Brown, Bitless Intelligence, MI6, MI5, Dunblane and Illuminati Freemasons. Do you see what I mean? This is what you're up against, you know, and these people they're MI5, MI6, and I'll show you, they run, you know, they run everything. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, and they have to. Again, Jimmy Savile, Larry Glitter, and the political of paedophile rings, yeah. So there, you know, there he is, look, Gordon Brown. And if you look up Gordon Brown on YouTube, or, you know, Google it, just put in his Masonic lion paw shake, yeah, and you'll see it'll come up again. Look at the big medallion here, look, Masonic. Do you know what I mean? That's what that is. That's Masonic. Look at that, the octagon. If you don't know about octagon, then look up Sshhed Horus and you'll find out. But again, that's all part of, you know, again, look it up. It's on there. Do you know what I mean? Look, Jimmy Savile, it's in the conversation. Just search that up and it'll come straight up if you would like to, you know, do a bit of research on that. Again, it's here. Look, Timonago or whatever it is, again, and all at the back of it, yeah, again, look, areas with the parliament, look, it's all linked, yeah, and like I said, all with MPs, prime ministers, and who looks up to these prime ministers and all of these? Your MPs who are in your local town and in your local councils. County lines dealers calls a 10-year-old child to ask, where's my drugs? Do you know what I mean? Do not support your local drug dealers, yeah, because that's like if you're abusing a kid and then you're downloading the porn, say, yeah, of child pornography, then you're a party to that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's the same as if you're doing that, if you're taking their drugs and you're addicted, you need to get off, because they're sticking things up kids' bums to cross county lines. Do you know what I mean? And they're nonsense, you know, especially most of the drug dealers around here, if they're doing that. Do you know what I mean? It's not on, is it? You know, these are the people you need to be fighting, you know. Again, that's another story, can't get into that too much at the moment. Someone asked me why I ain't been shot yet. Well, I've seen him there cocking his gun up on the seafront, you know what I mean, but I got him on camera anyways. And I've had a few other people, didn't I, jump out on me pretending you got a little gun put in your coat and that, you know what I mean. That's when I had my son beside me, but that's another story, we'll get into that later. What's this story here? Oops, now I've left that here. So cannabis with double. Oh yeah, look, this is a little boy, right? Yeah, little guy, 16-year-old, look, and they took him, yeah, he owed £55, look, right, and they took him down to Cornwall to deal drugs, look. Do you know what I mean? Unreal. You ended up 250 miles away. Do you know what I mean? But this is what they're doing to your kids, see? They're grooming your kids. I agreed because I was scared. Boy 16 on county lines ordeal. Search it up. It's there. It's all in black and white. It's in the Guardian, yeah? Remember, they're targeting your kids. Do you know what I mean? These drug lords and whatever else they are. Do you know what I mean? And they're running around like kings in their cars thinking, look, a 10-year-old targeted by county lines, drug gangs, warns head teacher. Do you know what I mean? Again, they're just nonsense. Do you know what I mean? They're grooming fucking kids. Oh, sorry to swear. You know what I mean? But this is what you got to watch. That, you know, ain't just a fight about, you know, the paedophiles and all that. You've got gangs of drug dealers grooming your kids to sell drugs so they get all the money they want and then go on certain holidays and things like that. You know, as children as young as 7 being used by county lines drug dealers. You're getting that, yeah? Do you see what I'm saying? And you're allowing that. Do you know what I mean? Because you respect them, or you're standing in the pub because they bought you a pint. Oh, what a dude, what a geezer. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what they do. You see what I mean? There you go, patting each other on the back. You know, oh, respect this, respect that. Boom, boom, boom. No, you're fucking. You know, you're involved in all of this. Do you know what I mean? You know, and you're allowing it. It's crazy. Anyway, moving on. Bradford boy again, 10, had aspirations to be a drug dealer. See, it's crazy, isn't it? And why do you always think there's a town hall in, you know what I mean? And never mind, forget the town hall, shh. But yeah, so again, look, more than 300 children arrested in Norfolk, yeah, biggest drug crackdown, yeah, 300 kids, yeah, that is not something that's, I say, it's a pandemic. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And when you're getting stabbed or you're getting robbed or whatever is going on, you know, you go, oh, that bloody drug dealer. Well, the person with people who are responsible are the people that are doing all this. You see what I mean? Yeah, because they're the ones doing. Oh, they're living all the life of Riley. They are. In fact, when they get robbed, if you look on Facebook and you can tape it and, you know, whatever, they put big rewards out. Someone stole my daughter's bicycle, or someone's done this to me. Here's a big massive reward for anyone who's got information towards him. You know what I mean? They're only putting the big rewards out. It's because they sold the drugs to the guy in the first place. Do you see what I mean? Who's wasted half his life selling the money, selling himself to them. Do you know what I mean? And then as soon as they get robbed, or one of their parent, you know, like one of their daughters or whatever gets robbed, or themselves, here's a big reward. Do you know what I mean, for any information? Well, they're robbing you, mate, because you sold them a load of drugs and got them addicted. Do you know what I mean? But you know, and you're putting out, and then everyone, you'll see hundreds of people going, yeah, what a wanker, what a tosser, what is this, what is that? Do you know what I mean? That's what they actually say about the geezer, the drug dealer, who actually sold the druggie, who's robbed him. Do you know what I mean? They're going, yeah, what a wanker, oh, he's scum, this, that. He's not scum, he's just wanting his drugs, isn't he, you know? And he won't be wanting his drugs if it weren't for people supporting him in the first place. But like I said, the main drug dealer will put like a big massive reward on his head because he stole something from him, even though he wouldn't have stole it in the first place if you weren't selling him the drugs. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, as you know, I'm right anti-drugs. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, search it up. You know, it's all over the place. Look at Yarmouth, look at that. Unreal. Norwich, look at Norwich. That's what I mean. It's rife. Anyway, fact by it. Oh yeah, this is great. This is, I love this. Right, another little fact finding here. Look, fact box. Yeah, Italy gathering influence, peddling scandal. Right. Yeah. Now, if you know about the so-called P3 affair, which was named after the P2 affair, which is the two Masonics, well, it's all to do with Masonic lodges, right? Yeah, and the corruption between Italy and the UK. Yeah, but this goes on all around the world anyway. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? It's like I said, it's global, this thing. Do you know what I mean? But if you read this, yeah, I'm going to go through it. But if you just go to like Reuters, yeah, fact box, Italy gathering influence, peddling scandal, yeah, you'll see it. It'll all influence, you know, and it's all Freemasonry. Do you see what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. It's not. This isn't like small type. This has been going on decades, hundreds of years. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, all of this, but it's coming out to light now. People are waking up. You know, he was the Masonic leader. Licio Gelli dies 96. So for 96 years, okay, let's say he was a Freemason from the age of 20. Yeah, that's still, how many years has he put? 86 years of corruption from this man. Do you know what I mean? That's not, you know, obviously there's more of them. You know what I mean? Masonic group, look, the Grand Master of notorious Masonic group. He's a Grand Master. Now remember, they put out, oh, we're good, we're this. You know what I mean? We've got no criminals in our organisation and all the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? But again, if you read that, yeah, again, it leads back to the UK, the P2 Lodge, blah blah, the 70s, and it still goes on today. You know, it don't stop. And look at the amount of, you know, the people that were killed. You know, the people are still killing. That don't, you know. Oh. God. Anyway, I get. It makes me angry. I lose my words. Never mind. Let me calm down. Right, Italy's Masonic puppet master died 96. Yeah, again, here we go. Do you know what I mean? Read it. Tells you all about him and the way he influenced, you know, obviously not just the UK. This is global. Do you know what I mean? Global corruption at the highest levels. And if they're police and what have you, they're going to do. Look, UK to come under scrutiny in Italy's largest mafia trials in decades. Do you know what I mean? Laundered billions of euros in City of London. Yeah, where's London? The home of the Freemasons. But again, read it. You know, it's all in there. You know, it's all to do with Freemasonry. It's not, you know, and this is what I'm saying. This is on a massive scale. You know what I mean? You left to fight the Nagad clan or whatever. I don't know. That's what I mean. Look, Italy will sign agreements to continue such efforts, but they ain't. The only people who are signing them efforts are the Freemasons. Yeah, and all what comes into it is, how can we shush this up? Do you know what I mean? Look in Freemasonry worldwide. Again, you know, that'll tell you what's going on with Freemasons around the world, and it's the common denominator. It don't matter where you are, whether you're in Australia, Italy, France, Russia. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, oh yeah, you can read up on the Italy P2 Mafia Lodge. That's in number 3, Freemasonry worldwide. You know, and you can read up on P2 there just for yourself. Look, Romania, they sorted them out, and the Ukraine, they sorted the Freemasons out, but I don't know if they've fully done it, but they kicked them out, didn't they, all the Freemasons? And that's what needs to be done. You should be pulling the screws out of you know, their lodges. Look, out of their compasses. Look, Australian Freemason Lodge being exposed. You see what I mean? It's all over the place. Do you know what I mean? all of their corruption knows no bounds, and they take the blame for nothing. They know they are blamed for nothing, but they're involved in everything. He was a GMP's most audacious undercover detective. Now he claims police Freemasons ruined his life. See, he was a gang stalked, yeah? And this is what I'm saying. This is what they do to whistleblowers, yeah? This guy here, read up on it. Do you know what I mean? There was another policeman. I don't know if this is the dude. There was another one who did a, like, exposed, a bit like Jill Dando, exposed them for the Freemasons for being pedos and got shot in the face for it. Do you know what I mean? Same as I'm going to more than likely. Well, they've planned to kill me, but you can't really kill someone because then your co-defendants become your as soon as you're looking at life, you know, with recommendations, people become instead of being your co-defendants, they become your co-accused very quickly in jail, especially when they're sitting on their bunks with their hands in their head. You know, and they've got families to think of, blah blah blah. So, you know, so I've got a bit of a, you know, even though I'm not bloody bulletproof or whatever, you know, that they can't just, you know, go ahead and shoot me no more, because I've got, you know, like I said, certain people would be rounded up and be sitting on the bunk in Norwich. And then, like I said, instead of being co-defendants, they'd be co-accused. You know what I mean? And stand in court pointing fingers, and they know that. But anyway, that doesn't mean to say they still wouldn't try it, obviously, because they're that full of themselves. But anyway, that's another story. As recently as 2000, then re-entered Freemasons. But he'll tell you about how the Masonics influenced the police, okay? Because they are the police, isn't it? You know, I'm not going to show you that in the video, yeah? Criminal activities of Freemasons or Freemasonic Lodge. Where does one direct a complaint? Yeah, this was in 2016. You can't direct a complaint. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to. Well, I'm still in doing. Well, I can't say nothing about it at the moment. But anyway, that's another story. But here it is. Like, just search this up. What do they know? Yeah, and it shows you, and that asks where you can direct a complaint about a Freemason lodge. Do you know what I mean? Where can you, you know, where can you, do you know what I mean, direct your complaint about a lodge? You can't, because the police, do you know what I mean, they'll shut it down. The PM will be, or the MP, your local MP or whatever, they'll shut it down. Your people in your council will shut it down because you're profane. You're not high enough. You've got no power. You've got no money. You've got nothing. Do you see what I mean? And you can't complain about it. I'm going to show you, you know, where all the, you know, the different times that I've complained to the police about different things, yeah, and it's just been shut down like that, boom, 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 all the time, because of the Freemasons that run this fucking town. Anyway, that's another story, but. You know, like I said, I love it. They keep, when they do that, all it does is put my diary in my folder bigger. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there's nothing here. I don't keep nothing here, so it's no good. You can raid me. Everything I've got is backed up on drives. Do you know what I mean? All hidden away, so you ain't getting nothing, you lot. But like I said, there's a big diary that I've kept over the years. You know, and everything what keeps coming on, like the other month, you know, like last year, I got banned for 6 months driving, yeah, but I got pulled over by, what, about 7 or 8 coppers. Come on, do you know what I mean? 7 or 8 coppers within a space of 2 to 3 months, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, and I'm sitting here, and I'll show you where I got robbed, right, my parcel, right. I just thought, I'll put a complaint, just see what happened. I don't give a 2 tosses about that anyway, but the point of the matter is I just wanted to see, you know, how far or where it would go. Do you know what I mean? Where's it gone? Nowhere. Do you know what I mean? I'll show you on the next video or whatever anyway. You know, where they'll do nothing because it's me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm a perjured individual by the Freemasons. Scumbags. Anyway, crime and the craft. Masonic involvement in murder. Do you see what I mean? Treason scandal. See, now again, when I went on about I forgot his bloody name again, Brian Harvey, see, in the Red Rooms, do you know what I mean? Think about, this is part of it, think about the Krays and what they used to look after, yeah, and who they looked after. The stars, the film stars, blah blah, and the clubs they look after, they done the doors. You think, so when Brian Harvey goes on about the Red Rooms, you know, that just gives you an idea of what's, you know, who's controlling what in this whole country, and I mean the whole country, you know what I mean? Boris and all that. See, people are too focused on Boris, bloody, they love it, you're focused on Boris and all them people like that, do you know what I mean? And what's his name, Biden, and bloody, I can't remember the other one with the hair, you know, the Trump Towers, you know. But They love all that because you're not focusing on your own town or your own city and what's going on in your own, your own environment. You need to reel yourself in and think, well, what is going on within my town? Who is controlling this? And who, you know what I mean? And then once you do that and you start looking internally rather than what's going on in another country or another town or a city, look within your own problems, yeah, and you'll come up with the answers. But that's part of it anyway. But like I said, Freemasonry is within everything. You've only got to read these books. It's there, all in black and white. Everything I'm telling you here is nothing new, because it's there. You've just got to research it. The Freemasons no longer have significant influence in the police force. Now, this is what they want you to believe, right? Okay, and I'm going to show you in a minute. They are the police force. Do you know what I mean? There's no, you go to a policeman now and say, who do you work for? They'll go the Crown, because they run, obviously that's who they look after, the Queen and all that monarchy. Do you know what I mean? But again, that's getting into a bit above my pay grade because I didn't do that. But being police officer free became a major issue in 1960, largely as a result of investigation journalism by the Times and the Sunday Times. Now the Times and the Sunday Times has now, I bet, been replaced by two Freemasons, because that'll never be happened again. Do you see what I mean? Because they'll shut that door. Do you see what I mean? They'll hound the person out. Because, see, they don't think in years or 5 years or 10 years or whatever. They think decades, do you know what I mean? And I mean decades, and they close all them doors. Any holes that exposes them, or, there's trouble. They shut the doors, do you know what I mean? But, but that's neither here. But again, like I said, it's nothing to do with Freemasonry. This is all like, shh, keep it quiet, do you know what I mean? But search it up, have a look, They're involved with everything, you know what I mean? Town halls, social services, police, you name it, they're in it. Again, Parliament here. This is the second report, the role of Freemasonry in public life. Its purpose is twofold. First, to type a number of loose ends arising from the first report, allegations drawn to our attention related to particular cases. Second, to analyse and draw the conclusion of the information collected by the Foreign Office and the Lord Chancellor, which are all bloody Freemasons. Do you see what I mean? So you've got to rely on what they tell you, the Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the Freemasons. How can a Freemason investigate himself? Do you see what I mean? Because he's a Freemason. But it's on Parliament anyway. Go search that up. That's there. Look, there's the address at the top. I'm not going to read it out because obviously I'm trying to skip through this little bit. Right, but you can see that, do you know what I mean? But again, it's all shut down. Again, look, Freemason police officers and police staff, right? You know what I mean? Nottinghamshire Police. I'm questioning police officers and police staff who are Freemasons. Now, everyone should be doing this. Do you know what I mean? Freedom of information, yeah, on who's a policeman in their police station. Do you see what I mean? If you're fighting if you're actually fighting who's running the country and who's messing it all up, and all part of and I know there's so many groups, and some of you are following groups that shouldn't be following because they're just Freemason paid shields, and they're paid well for that, by the way. I'm going to show you that within these videos as well. Okay, how well they're paid, and they're paid with gold. Do you know what I mean? Whether that's gold, certificate, badges, and rank and systems. They get houses. You know what I mean? I'm going to show you all of that. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. But search it up again. The address is at the top, which is there. And like I said, you can read it for yourself. I'm trying to skip through this little bit here. Police ignore Freemasonry survey. Yeah. See, the police officers may be required to read whether they're a Freemason or not. And all they do is ignore it. They don't give a toss. Do you know what I mean? That's what everything. They're accountable for nothing. Do you see what I mean? Because they've got Parliament behind them, they've got the Queen, they've got, you know what I mean? They account because they've got the power, they've got the money. They run the town halls, they run all your system. Do you see what I mean? And they account for nothing. Do you know what I mean? So when you complain about one of them, all they do is shift them and move him, put to another county. Do you know what I mean? Or another whatever. So it doesn't, it don't matter. The system's there built to shush the profane up. And you can't complain, and they just ignore anything. When they take these votes in Parliament, shall we make Freemasons reveal who they are or not? The people who are voting it, don't matter if it's Conservative, Tory or whatever, on both sides it's Freemasonry, and they've got their orders from the UGL, which is the United Grand Lodge of England, to vote how they want it, and that's obviously no one's going to vote. Oh, I'm not revealing who I'm a Freemason, so they vote against it, and then everyone's sitting there going, oh well, that was a fair vote, wasn't it? No, it freaking weren't. Do you know what I mean? Because Freemasons shouldn't even be taking a vote on it, really, should they? Do you know what I mean? Because it's not that, it's not them, it's whether the public want to, because to be honest, I want to know who they are, because that would open the eyes of a lot of things going on within this country. You know what I mean? I'll get a bit more into that again and what is going on. Like I said, you go to people, who are getting bail in a police station or in a court. Do you know what I mean? Who are getting off lightly? Yeah. Which ones are Freemasons? Which one in? And then when you can get that, yeah, and there's obviously you line that up and you how do you do it? Like surveyor or whatever. You'll then see a big wide chasm or a canyon of where Freemasons are getting preference over profane people. Do you know what I mean? Because they are special. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they wear weapons, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Not all heroes wear capes. They do wear aprons. I'm getting into that in a minute as well. It does make me laugh. But yeah, so you'll see a huge chasm if you can get that study where, come on, let's see. Right, you're a Freemason. You've got this at court. Now, this is a profane man. Do you know what I mean? You've got 6 profane men go through. They've all got this, but you've got that. Come on. Do you know what I mean? And you would see a huge chasm. And like I said, that includes people getting houses. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've seen people live here all my life and they're still homeless. What the hell's going on? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But you won't see any of their relatives or their, their mates or whatever homeless at all. Do you know what I mean? No way. And that's what I mean. This is the difference, you see, because they pull all the strings and they give them out what they want. Anyway, going on, moving on. Here's a Masonic army on the march here. Look, do you know what I mean? Look, watch this Masonic army on the march. They love it. Oh, here we go.
Basically freedom. It's a
right, let me just shut that down. This one.
Where you can do whatever you
want. Skip the ad. Look, watch this. Look, watch this. No, skip that trial. Here it come. Look. You can search this up yourself. Look at that army on the march. Look at the top hats, look, and all the people on the left, look, they've got no money. This is where all your money is, look. I'm going to show you more of that. I already have anyway, but look at the top hats. Think how much money there is. Look at the shoes, look, the shoes. So here they go, look, they're just laying a cornerstone again. You know what I mean? Because they're in charge. You try and get in there if you're profane. You won't even get anywhere near that. They control it all. That's an army, look. You try getting close to that army, you're buggered out the door. Anyway, that's a little again, get on to this. Look, Savali, former Illuminati, reveals the inner workings before her death. Right, another whistleblower that was killed. Yeah, she used to work for that's in #1 Illuminati and Freemasons. Yeah, these little videos here. Yeah, there's only 9. They're about 10 minutes each. If you listen to each and every one of them, that'll tell you exactly what's going on today. And then if you combine that with Harris's videos, then you're quite on your way to enlightenment, literally, of what Freemasonry is, and this is what it is. It's an army, yeah, and in everything, nearly to the end. Here we end. Now this Masonic script here, where they're saying we will build better, yeah, well, builders are the Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and all it is just shush. Let's get the profane back to being quiet, where we can shut them up. That's what they're on about. You know what I mean? We'll build back better, where the profane can't say what they're saying today. You know what I mean? We made a mistake and we put them under lockdown, and in lockdown they've all done their research. Do you know what I mean? Biggest mistake in life. But we will come back and we will make it better, where the profane can't say a word. But that's down my wall. Go down my wall. There's all sorts of stuff on there. I'm just putting, again, these people will lead you. They're Masonic. They're Judas goats, yeah, Freemasons. And this is what they do. They lead you, the sheep, because they run your towns, they run your town halls, and they tell you where to go and what to do. And when you see a news article or something on the telly, you believe it. Do you know what I mean? And it only comes from up on what they're wanting people to say on the telly. Don't believe any of it. They're Judas goats, Freemasons are. Anyway, moving on. Again, it's time to wake the F up. Again, it's down on my wall. If you want that on... where is it? It should be coming up on there. But again, when you listen to this is about satanic ritual abuse. Oh, how did that come up there? This is about satanic ritual abuse. I daren't even scroll up or down because it might bloody disappear. I'm terrible at that. Right, yeah, oh, slowly. Yeah, there you go. And that's down my wall again. But again, satanic ritual abuse is telling you to wake the hell up because you've got these whistleblowers. Everyone knows what's going on. But again, you'll hear a real story from a satanic ritual abuse survivor. And again, what's the common denominator? Freemasonry. And that's on BitChute, that is. Yeah, that's on BitChute, and you should go see it. Do you know what I mean? That's a video well worth watching. Again, Freemasonry is getting called out. Do you know what I mean? So get on there. Yeah, I don't need to be in BitChute. So get on there. Again, look at this. Look, I want you to see this. See the Egyptians in the background, yeah? Okay. But that's heraldry, yeah? This is where they all come from, these are. But these Freemasons here, look, yeah? Look, they're all in the army. Do you see what I mean? They're the army, they're the navy, they're everything, yeah? They control the lot, yeah? Okay, look, there's his ranking there, look. That's a Masonic ranking, yeah? Do you know what I mean? See all these ranks, look? And all the little badges? Well, that's what Freemasonry does. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Same as the badges on the side. This is what they do, and their stripes. That's all to do with Freemasonry. And that's all the same. There's nothing, no difference, yeah? Freemasonry is a Masonic army, yeah? That's what that is, yeah? And they control it all. Yeah, look, Navy, whatever they are. Again, the worshipful master. So him there, right? Let's say he takes the apron off. He takes his silly little hat off. Now he walks onto his army base, right? And he starts throwing orders out. All them people under him, right, are going to do what they're told, aren't they? Or they're going to presume, if they're all profane, just say, they're all going to presume they're going to get obviously kicked out of the army or whatever. But that is a Freemason taking orders from a Grand Master or whatever, yeah, the Uggles, their great Grand Masters, or the Waldors. But they all think they're taking orders off a captain or whatever he is, a major, whatever, but they're taking orders off a Freemason. Do you see what I mean? And he's only doing what the people at the lodge told him to say. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's how it is within the police force. The same thing. People go, oh, here come a policeman. No, it's not here come a policeman. Here comes a Freemason. And he's going to do whatever his Grand Master told him back at the station. And the man in the station is going to do what his Grand Master told him in the freaking lodge. Do you see what I mean? And that's what it's about. Also, when you notice here how they got their aprons, you see some of the aprons are up, look. Yeah, some of the aprons are up, look. You see that? I'm going to show you about that. And obviously you got this dude here. He's got his like nappy on, stretched over his shoulder. But that's another story. He's baring his chest, so they all have a little suckle on it. But they do a nipple twister. Ask them about the nipple twisters, the Freemasons, but that's another story. Anyway, the nipple twisters. Oh, yeah, the nipple twisters, that's what they are. The nipple twisters, that's what they're called, the nipple twisters. But that's another story. But just check them aprons, the different shape. Yeah, I'm going to get into that in a minute. Because again, the way the apron is worn within the lodge gives you a ranking. Yeah, it's their ranking. Yeah, because it's an army, yeah, it's nothing but an army. Again, oh, here we go with the two eyes, look. This stands for Dom Wiz, yeah. And this is what and this is what I was on about in the beginning, yeah, except I put my pinky in my hand, my pinky on my mouth, and call it shush, which has nothing to do with Freemasonry, but I just changed it myself. Why not? They make them up, so why can't I? But yeah, that's what that is. That's Dom Wiz, that is. But with that, and that, obviously that denotes like the proper use of knowledge, right? That's what that means, the proper use of knowledge, okay? And like there's a grip what goes with it, which is like the right hand, yeah, of the opposite person, right? Just in an ordinary manner of shaking hands, yeah, and that's interlaced the little pinky fingers, the little fingers between the third and the fourth finger, yeah, you know what I mean? And the thumb across the finger between the first and the second knuckle joint. Do you know what I mean? And that's what the handshake is. And then like you've got the sign of recognition, which is obviously the first two fingers over your right eye, which he's doing, and the thumb and the two fingers, the last two fingers are closed, yeah. And then what you do, you actually just drop your hand to the side. You know what I mean? That's what that is, you know. And then the candidate, or whoever bloody you're doing it to, will do the same thing. It's just answered in the same manner. You know what I mean? And then there's a salute to that. Now listen to what I'm saying. Salute, yeah? there's a salute, yeah, because it's an army, yeah. So there's a salute. Well, they call it a salutation, yeah, is given, right? And what you do, you place your right hand, palm inwards, right, horizontally on your forehead, and then just throw your hand off in a casual manner, and that's the actual salute to that. Do you know what I mean? Can you believe it? A salute. I'm going to get more into this a bit later, you know, the different things, you know, their salutes, and, you know, because it is an army, yeah. And then that's answered, right, by the presiding officer in the same manner. Okay, so, you know, boom, boom. But that's saluting each other, do you know what I mean? And then you've got a Grand Halen sign. They've always have a Grand Halen sign, whatever it is, and I've shown you a few, you know, and they're easy to sign. But that's it. And the sign of distress is placed in the right hand, back of the hand, yeah, the back of the hand, the palm to the head, then letting the hand drop to the side 3 times, yeah. And that's their sign of distress. And then any Freemason within, you know, the area who spots it will come and rescue them or protect them or whatever it takes, yeah. And that don't matter if there's 100 of them. 100 will fight you if you're profane. Do you see what I mean? You know, but that's the great, you know, that's the Grand Halen signs, you know what I mean? And then as he's doing that, the Halen sign is help our standard. Again, listen to that. Our standard, yeah. Our standard is in danger. Yeah, remember that, standard. Help, our standard is in danger. Now, a standard, see, this is all about heraldry, yeah, standards, you know, and I'm going to show you that again in a minute as well, yeah. So again, apart from saluting, you know, they have all these salutes, you know, there's penal signs and blah, blah, blah. Let me just take this jumper off. Sweating. So the Grand Halen sign, again, you know what I mean, is again a cry for help, yeah. But if you're profane, you ain't getting no help. Do you know what I mean? Only they are. And then obviously they go, help, our standard is in danger. Do you know what I mean? And then again, the grand honours are given by placing your hands across your breast, then throwing them off in a graceful manner. Do you see what I mean? So your hands are on your breast and then they're thrown off. But these are the rituals, what they do. And they do this, right, so fast you don't even know they're doing it. Do you know what I mean? That's how quick they are. Now, I'm at the folders now. Yeah, that's it, right. So I'll go through this. This is some lodges, right? And I'm going to show you how massive this army is, right? Now, you can tell the truth is being told. Well, when Facebook blocks it, Twitter deletes it, Google hides it, YouTube bans it, and the media censors it, and your government forbids it, yeah? And that's all they're doing at the moment, yeah? They're shadow banning all my stuff, do you know what I mean? And it's not getting out there, no one's, you know, God. So what you need to do is download my stuff and upload it yourself, do you know what I mean? And get that word out there. And like I said, if they delete it, it's gone. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I keep backups, but you should keep backups yourself. Do you see what I mean? Because then that way it'll always forever be out there for to dig into the Freemasons' side. Do you see what I mean? Because once the information's there, it's that, you know, they can't delete it. Look, so you are self-appointed Masonic watchdog. Yeah, of course I am, Jason Burke. You Burke. Oh no, I shouldn't be. I might get the right. Anyway, which group of Freemasons are you referring to? The York Rite, the Scottish Rite. Now now this is a typical argument. What I'm on about, you see, what he's doing. He's segregating, so he's deflecting it away from another one. Do you see what I mean? He's saying, well, that's not us. That's no, York Rite, Scottish Rite, English, French, German. You're all the freaking same, mate. You're Freemasons, one block. There's no York Rite, Scottish Rite, you're all the same, yeah. And just because I'm now going to show you in a minute that they got you know, like chapters and provisionals and all this, it's all the same company. There's no difference. They're all the same level. They're all the same. You have the internet and you are still ignorant of the truth. Masonic ships go scripted reality, and I think he blocked me by then, do you know what I mean? You've seen obviously some of my other stuff, but if you go look in my scripts, you'll see what they sort of reply anyway. But again, look, do you see where the argument is? What they do is try and divert the argument to make out, oh, it's not us, it's them, or it's not them, it's us. Do you see what I mean? And they bring all these different Scottish writings, whatever bloody they want to bring it in. Oh, that's not us, that's the Jesuits. Oh, that's not us, that's the bloody Skull and Bones. Oh, that's not us, that's Bohemian Grove. Oh, it's this, that and the other. And then they go, oh, it's the Jesuits, and they go on about religion, about 100,000 years ago. Forget all that crap. What you got to do is what's happening today and what's going to happen in the future. Because what's happened in the past you can't change, that's done. Do you know what I mean? But what you can do is change your future, and who's going to carry on running your system for you. Do you know what I mean? And you can do that today. Do you know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about what the Jesuits were doing 100 years ago or 300 years. Who gives a toss? What's happening today? Who's running it today? What's going to happen in the future with your children, my children, whoever? Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's about. But this is what they try and do. They go, what group of Freemasons? No, there's no group. That's just one army, one solid group. That's all it is. Again, Out of the Shadows. Oh yeah, you want to watch that again. It's very good. Yeah. Again, we'll move on. This is what they want you to believe. Masonic growth is on the decline. Yeah, but it's not. That's the illusion they want, because if it was on the increase, yeah, they start getting scared. People might get scared. Oh no, look, that's a worry. Oh, we're getting too much. But no one knows what the true numbers of Freemasonry is, or who is, or what is a Freemason. I mean, I wish I could put a G on everything that was Freemason, yeah, and you'll see houses, hotels, food, eateries, God knows whatever you want to put it, and so many cars that belong to Freemasons. Do you see what I mean? And this is the thing. See, if you could do that and made it a law that you must display a sticker, that had a Freemason logo, if you're a Freemason, they'd be well in trouble, because then you'd see the real true army or the size of it. Do you know what I mean? But they're not on the decline at all. Again, I just want to recap on this: the tactics and monitor for the Knights Order of the Temple, right? The tactics and monitor. You know what I mean? This is an army. Look. Knights of the Order of the Temple, the drill regulations, yeah. See what I mean? This is what Freemasons are. Just because they're called Knights Templar, they're Freemasons, yeah. Before you become anything, it don't matter what it is, you're a Freemason, yeah. And then you're on level. Depending on how corrupt you are, is how high you're willing to go up the board. Do you know what I mean? And whether you'll be on the left door or the right door, whether you're going to be a ring of protection, and shush other people up, or you're going to be in the corrupt doing the naughty against all the profane, yeah. But this is what it is: orders of knighthood. This is what it's all about, yeah. Look, standards, look, and banners, yeah, of different orders of knighthood, yeah, insignias and ranks, yeah. And this is what it's all about, yeah. This is what it's all about. It still goes on in heraldry. I'll prove that to you, yeah. It's all about heraldry, the landowners, all the fights what went on in the past, blah, blah, blah. It used to be Masonic fights, nothing else. They're all about Masonic fights, yeah. People try and vying for power. Do you know what I mean? And obviously the profane fight in their silly wars for them. But look, here's the Vice President and the members of his cabinet and the governors within their states. Yeah, here it would be like within their county. Do you know what I mean? That'd be county, and our vice president would be like the MP, the whatever his bloody name is. See, I don't watch the news, so I don't know much about them. But that would be like the prime ministers, is it? Just member MPs, member of parliaments or whatever. And like what they call the Lord Mayor or whatever in their towns, do you know what I mean, rather than their states. But look, the Grand Master of Masons and Grand High Priests, the Grand Officer, do you know what I mean? So this is basically, they look after the lowly Freemasons, right? Yeah, do you know what I mean? And then as you go up, look at the bottom here, look at the bottom, look, the President of the United States is saluted as par, yeah. The President of the United States, yeah. So he's at the bottom of this page, yeah. So everyone, the governors and all in their states, obviously all the Freemasons answer up to the Vice President and the members of his cabinet. Then they answer, they then answer to the President, who then answers to the Knights Templar, yeah, and then it goes up and up and up, and obviously you've got, you know, like all in between there'd be, you know, you could say Illuminati or whatever, but again, Illuminati are just Freemasons. Do you see what I mean? They're just more bloodlined and more family orientated, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But that's what it is. Look, the most eminent Grand Master, you know what I mean? So these top people here would be, I presume, like, you know, and I'm just at a guess, but again, like I said, because there's the Queen, you know, that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm not, you know, I don't know all and end all. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to get in. All I know is they're just bloody Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? That's to do with families, and, you know, and then families keeping that power within themselves, you know, whether it's Rothschilds and all that again, you know, blah blah. I don't go into that, because you need to look within yourselves and what's going on within your town, because if you cut your towns off and they've got no voice coming from your towns, do you know what I mean, going up to the cities, and then from the cities up to they can't do nothing, do you know what I mean? But the eyes and ears of all of that is Freemasonry, do you see what I mean? Because they have their meetings, and I'll show you that, you know, and that they have their meetings everywhere, you know, places you wouldn't even think of. Why I've got this up here, I ain't got a bloody clue. This is the Installed Masters Association. I was just telling you about, again, Leeds. This is Leeds, look, Masters of the Manchester Association for the Masonic Research, Bristol. But this is like some of their lodges here. I don't know what I put that in there for. Sometimes there is. Oh yeah, you got the Perfect and the Rough Ashler. The Rough Ashler is like us. Do you know what I mean? Unhewn and bloody ugly and God knows what. And they're Perfect Ashlers. Do you know what I mean? Smooth and blah blah blah, but I ain't getting into that. Look up yourself. Now we've got a Masonic yearbook here, 1986 to 87, right? And then we've got 1997 to 98, right? Two different yearbooks, right? Now here they are, look. That's the difference between the years, okay? This is how many pages extra they've put in there, okay? In a space of how many years? Sorry. 86, 87, so say about 10 years. Do you know what I mean? So within 10 years they've increased membership that much, okay? Right, so now here, look, I've found this little tool where it allows me to write on the pages. I didn't even know that, but look at the people involved in it. Yugoslavia, His Royal Highness the Prince Alexander. You see what I mean? And then New Zealand's Most Honourable Marquis. See what I mean? It's Marquis, Dukes, Earls, Lords. Do you know what I mean? OBE. They've all got OBEs and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? Again, look, the abbreviation of Masonic ranks. Masonic ranks. Okay. Why is that? Where do you get ranks? Let me think. It couldn't be an army, would it? Yeah, there's certain army ranks, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? So again, this is army ranks, okay? Again, past master green, you know, these are the thingies here. Look, what tells you what these represent here, like the PG, PAGDC, blah blah. That's what all this little bit. But I'll leave that to you to read. I can't go all through all that. Oh no, but yeah. But like I said, look, it's the Marquis and His Royal Highness the Prince, yeah? So this is what I'm trying to get for you. These are the people that are running your country. Now the pages, look, the first one goes up to 743, and on the second book the page now goes to 878 pages, okay? Now I should have got my calculator out and thingy. Obviously you can see some funds here, look, yeah? What they were doing back in the day there, look. See the funds, you know, operating expenditures, blah blah blah, but they don't put their wages, what they're getting. Look again, look, it's here, look, the Royal Grand Lodge was followed. Let me just enlarge that a little bit, not too much. Sorry if I'm rabbiting on, but again, look, His Royal Highness Prince Bertil, Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Sweden. Do you see what I'm saying? His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, okay, the Most Honourable Marquis of Northampton. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is what it is, you know, Grand Surgeoners, banners. You see what I mean? But again, what it's about, look, again, here, look, by the Princess of Wales and His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent. Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? Covent Garden, you know what I mean? Well, why they got all these, you know, who's it, you know, I mean, no profane person or someone who's out the temple is going to be able to get into any of this. Do you see what I mean? This is why the Masonic Trust for Girls and Boys, you see. Now, girls and boys, I'm going to do some schooling in a bit, yeah, with 1.75 million from the Grand Charity and the Masonic Trust for Girls and Boys, yeah, all this money. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to show you in a minute what they do. This is what they do. They target your kids. Do you know what I mean? Moving on. Again, the Royal Masonic Benevolent Institute, founded in 1842. So look how long that's been going on for, yeah? Now, the grand patron is Her Majesty the Queen, right? The president, Her Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, yeah? So when they're going... So who do you think Freemasons answer to? Okay, do you know what I mean? Right, and again, I'm going to just leave that there. I'm going to again look, Duke of Kent, President, the Grand Master, and the Vice President, yeah, the Right Honourable Lord Cornwallis, OBEDL Programme Master, yeah. Hospital provides healthcare for Freemasons, their wives, widows and dependents. The Samaritan Fund assisted those Masonic patients who would otherwise find difficulty in meeting the fees. Such patients should always contact the hospital alimony. See, nothing about the profane, only the Freemason wives, widows and their dependents. You see what I mean? That's all they look after. They look after themselves, okay? They don't look after anyone else but themselves. I'll show you that again in a minute. These are provisional lodges, okay, which are in the UK, and there's 5,818 lodges, okay, and you can see some of them here. Look, Nuneaton, Burton, Bury St Edmunds, blah blah, and it give you the names of the lodge, the numbers. Yeah, like if I said how old's your granny to a Freemason, and it was say like Abbot Baldwin in Bury St Edmunds, so he say my nanny was 8,656 years old. You see what I mean? Because that's their lodge number, is how old their granny is. Do you see what I mean? That's what that is. So when you hear that, that's what they're referring to. But provisional grand lodges, look, there is 5,818 lodges. Now they call them lodges. What they really are is army barracks or keeps or castles. That's what they are. Do you know what I mean? And that's what they are: castles, keeps and army barracks, okay, that recruit new recruits to the cult. So yeah, I didn't ever agree to 5,818. Why would they need that many army barracks anyway? Now here we go, look, this is the towns abroad where lodges meet, okay. This is like, look at this, in Bombay, South America, Nigeria, East Africa, East Caribbean, Barbados, India. Do you know what I mean? This is why I say they're everywhere, okay? Nigeria, Cyprus, Transylvania, Natal, do you know what I mean? Gambia, South Lorient, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Newfoundland, New Zealand, do you know what I mean? Australia, Queensland, of course, Malaysia, you know, Pakistan, you know, Switzerland, Burma. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. This is where lodges meet abroad, okay? These would be the grand lodges, none of their little, you know, thingy yet. Now, grand chapters of these are the officers there, right? But we don't want to go into that yet. Grand superintendents in other provinces, yeah? So like South Wales, North Wales, just what I mean? These are all different other lodges, yeah? East Lanarkshire, Suffolk, West Lanarkshire, Warwickshire, Oxfordshire, Surrey. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not going to go into too much of that because I've got plenty more coming up in a minute. Look, now the London chapters, look, okay, right? Because there's chapters, right? And then there's grand chapters, and then there's provisional lodges, and there's grand provisional lodges. Do you know they've actually got a world lodge? I'll show you that a bit later as well. Now there's actually a lodge of the world, yeah? So, you know, you just got your town, you know, there's obviously they're in villages as well, but the villages answer to the towns answer to the cities, and then the cities answers to the capital cities, and then the capital cities answer to the say UK lodge, and then the UK lodge would meet with all the other lodges, and that'd be a world lodge. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, and all the grand, super grand masters, or whatever the hell they want to call themselves, would meet wherever the world lodge is. And I don't know where the world lodge is. If anyone knows, I'd be pleased to be informed where that is. But I'll show you in a minute where they mention it in their paperwork. So London chapters, there's 703. Okay, 703. Now, just with 100 men in each, look at the numbers. Then you've got provisional chapters, there's 46 provinces as well, so there's 2,099 of them. Okay, now remember, these are castles, forts, or army barracks. Okay, because it is an army, it's nothing else. Okay, chapters abroad underground inspectorates, which is 11. Chapters abroad not under district or grand chapters is 13. So it's 3,121 lodges. Okay, and then obviously they do a little bit there, right? So London chapters 703, and there is, that's all, you know, I ain't going to list it all, but it's all in there. Look, yeah, army and navy, do you see what I mean? Arts and crafts, they're into everything. Yeah, the lot. But that's how many lodges are in London. Okay, and then if we keep going, look, London lodges, right, which is there. Now we've got the provisional lodges, provisional chapters. Yeah, there's 2,099, and then obviously they're all listed in there. Sorry, it's a bit blurry. Okay, now when you look at it again, I'll just go with here to the left a bit. Look at the money, look, the equities, British government securities. Now what would British government securities mean? I ain't got a clue. Why would the British government securities? Security to keep us going, shh, and keep quiet. Other fixed interests, like what? What's that? Shh, shushing up and putting like suppression orders on paedophiles. I don't know. You tell me. UK equities and overseas equities, right? But that's like just some of the money they do. Trust me, there's a lot more than that go through their books. We need a, you know, anyway, outstanding Masonic events, right? Now if you look at the Masonic events, right, from 1717 blah blah, he was a, you know, that's when they started, or presumably, but obviously there's a lot before that. And you know, you go through it, look, and you look at the people, right, associated with it. Look, the Earl of Abercorn, yeah, the Duke. Okay, this is what it's still about. It's still the Earls, the Dukes, the landowners. Earl of Loudon, Earl of Darnley, His Royal Highness Frederick Lewis, Prince of Wales, yeah. The Duke of Darnley, Earl of Darnley, sorry, got that bit muddled, never mind. But this is what I mean, this is how it goes on, look. Earls, Dukes and Lords, yeah. Lord Bryony. Do you see what I'm saying? This is all what you're dealing with, yeah? And these people, the landowners, that, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, wherever you come from, the landowners are all the, you know, the posh totch or whatever. Do you know what I mean? These are the people that are controlling your county, your state, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But again, if you just go down it, like I said, look, it goes on and on. His Royal Highness Prince Henry, afterwards Duke of Clarence, and King William, whatever he was. Do you see what I mean? Princess of Wales, George, Prince of Wales. Do you see what I mean? And it goes on and on, yeah? These are the people that are controlling you, the Freemasons, yeah? And all they are is Freemasons, yeah? And then they let the serfs in on the temple, yeah? What control you? Do you know what I mean? And there we go, keep going and keep going. Yeah, we're only at 1852, look, but you can see the royalty, what goes through this, yeah? And this is what I mean. This is from their words, nothing to do with me. Queen Victoria became chief patroness of the Masonic Girl School. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. Princess of Wales, boom boom. The cathedral was built. Keep going. Prince Arthur O'Connor. Special festivals in aid of Masonic Million Memorial Fund held at Olympia, Kensington, under the presidency of Royal Highness Duke of Connaught. Boom, boom, boom. Again, this is what you're up against. Like I said, King George V, accompanied by HMS the Queen, opened the new Freemasons Hospital and Nursing Home, now named by His Majesty Authority the Royal Masonic Hospital. Do you know what I mean? And this is what this goes on and on and on. Look, His Royal this Freemasons. These are all Freemasons. Do you see what I mean? This is what you. This isn't just, you know, the Freemasons, you go, oh, there's a Freemason lodge in my car. But this is what they answer to, the royalty, the dukes, the earls, the lords, yeah? And they all your grand masters, yeah? And this is how they keep the profane, you know, the people all around your estate or whatever in line, yeah? And And then obviously they do lifeboats, the Duchess of Kent. We're now in 1982, so we're now sort of like my time here. I'm giving you my date. But yeah, no, I'm only winding you up. But again, look, we're now into the 80s. Look, Michael of Kent, you know what I mean? He's invested, do you know what I mean? And then Cornwallis, the Royal Masonic with girls, the Royal Masonic. That's all girls and boys and schools, yeah? And then we get to here, right? And the Grand Charm, why have I put this on? I can't remember why. Oh yeah, list of lodges with their numbers, the registered Grand Lodge, and dates of the Constitution. Yeah, that's what these Grand Stewards, look. Freemasons Hall, third Wednesday. That tells you when they're obviously meeting, yeah? Page 35, right? Okay, this is page 35, list of lodges, okay? And it goes to page 259 pages of lodges, yeah? Now that's nothing to do with the other lodges I've just shown you, right? Which are back here, the chapters, okay? Nothing to do with the chapters. Right, the chapters are completely different. 703 of them, and then we had, how many did we have of the other ones? Sorry, 5,000 here, provisional lodges. Now these ones here, whoop, where am I? Ding a ding. These list the lodges, yeah. The 259 lodges are completely different to the other lodges. Now here you got lodges, so you got another 1,676 lodges, provisional lodges in 47 provinces, of 5,800. See what I'm saying? Yeah, lodges abroad under blah blah, but that's 8,270 total. See. And that's lodges, okay? So like I said, there's grand lodges, provisional lodges, there's a world lodge, do you know what I mean? Again, look at the provisional grand lodges again, look at who's above here, look. Prince Michael, right, of Kent, His Honour Alan, God knows who he is, but the point of the matter, His Majesty Donald, what the hell, I don't know what that is neither. But again, look at all the what I'm saying is, look at the royalty, yeah? These are all lords and dukes and earls, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And this is what they run, each town and city. For some reason I've got, oh yeah, I get it, right, yeah, wait a minute, what am I doing here? That's what I did, that's it. I put two books by side, yeah? So the first book is the first one, yeah, and there was 200 in Middlesex. There was 271 lodges, okay, right, in Middlesex, 271 lodges. Roll up to 19. Wait there, let me just split that a minute. To 1997, and we now have 285 lodges. Okay, so it's gone from 271 lodges, yeah, which was in 1986 to 87, and then about 10 years later we've now got 285 lodges in Middlesex. So how is Freemasonry on the decline if they've got more lodges now? Again, we've got Mount Monmouthshire, right, 26 lodges, and then Monmouthshire here there's 28, so that's just 2 lodges gone up, but there's still enough in it. And here we come to my Norfolk lodges, yeah, which is my own hometown or my home county. 60 lodges in Norfolk in 1986, right? Roll on to 97, and we now have 69 lodges. I never agreed to any bloody lodges. Do you know what I mean? So it's 9 lodges in about 10 years. That's 1 a year. 1 lodge a year, right? Now, why are they having all these lodges? Because they're recruiting, yeah, and they're getting bigger, and the army is growing. It's not on the decline. It's on the it's increasing. Something that's got established with the history of what they have don't die off. Do you know what I mean? And that's why they recruit all the time. Yeah, Nottinghamshire, look, 98 lodges. Roll on. Now there's 100. That's another 2 lodges. Do you know what I mean? And that goes on and on. Oxfordshire, look, the old Oxford Freemasons, look, 49 lodges, and now we've got 55. Do you know what I mean? So how is that on the decline? Freemasonry, oh, we're losing members. We're not. Do you know what I mean? No, you're increasing. Look, Suffolk, 47 lodges, another close one by me. 47 lodges. Now there's 62. Look, do you see what I'm saying? In fact, so. Oh, that's all right. I thought someone was having trouble. So yeah, so Lowestoft, yeah, look at the Lowestoft, look, bloody hell, look at the look, that's all the Lowestoft. I'll show you Great Yarmouth. Where's Great Yarmouth? There, look, St Andrew's Lodge, look. You know what I mean? Oh, baby. Anyway, Suffolk has 47 lodges, and now when you roll up about 10 years later, it's 62 lodges. Do you know what I mean? Surrey, look at the lodges in Surrey.